Hey, what is up dudes, Khraze here and welcome back to another Ghost of Tsushima Legends video. Today, let's talk about 8 of the craziest features that we will get to see with the brand new update 1.1, which by the way will drop really soon. If you've been living under a rock or if you didn't pay any attention to the news, it is going to drop this very Friday, so basically on the 16th, fresh in with a ton of new content and a lot of cool and interesting things to do. And by the way, I might also play this earlier, so I will be able to give my first impressions in advance, which means that if you do want to see those first impressions, definitely make sure you stick around, leave a like on this video and even consider subscribing, as I am planning to exclusively and extensively cover this new update. But in the meantime, let's talk about some of the brand new additions. I do want to start things off with two obvious ones: the main modes added with the new update, which are going to be the new Game Plus option as well as the Legends mode, both of which are actually accessible straight from the main menu as soon as you get into the game, pretty much alongside the other options that already exist there. Now for the new Game Plus, you can choose this option as it's already obvious for as long as you have already finished the main story campaign. It's going to start you shortly after the battle with the Khan over there on the bridge, and from that point on you can pretty much continue with everything that you have already unlocked up until that point. So this includes all of the past gear, all of the techniques, all of the vanity items that you have unlocked in your previous playthroughs. And not just that, you will also have access to some brand new stuff that is going to be exclusive to the new Game Plus. So only in the new Game Plus we will also get access to some brand new additional upgrades for our swords, bow, as well as armor, and on top of this we also get access to some brand new vanity items. And by the way, we also get this really awesome horse right here that's only accessible for new Game Plus players. It's basically this really awesome dark one with a very vibrant red mane and a unique saddle. So if that's not an incentive enough in itself, I'm not sure what is. But this brings us to the second point, which is going to be all about the really crazy level of customization that we are also getting in the new update. So we're getting a bunch of vanity items, including from new dyes, masks, sword kits, emotes, and yes, most important of them all, brand new armors. Some of these are exclusive to one mode or the other, so here is the full breakdown. For the Legends mode, each of the class has access to different masks, armors, and sword kits, depending of course on the class themselves and their playstyles. Now there's various ways in which we will get access to all of these vanity items, and this includes anything from ranking up with that specific class or by completing certain types of challenges, among many other things, though it is not yet clear enough if this is also going to apply to single player, so we're not sure yet if the armors that get unlocked in the Legends mode will also eventually be available in the single player too, and from the looks of it, the answer might just be no for the time being. Speaking of the single player campaign, as I've said, according to Sucker Punch, new dyes and other vanity items are also going to be exclusive to this new game mode. So in the new Game Plus we will get access to this new dye merchant right here that kind of looks really freaky with the double face mask over there, but he also gives you access to exclusive dyes that only exist for new Game Plus players. Now the most important thing to know is that these will require a special kind of flower, which is going to be the ghost flower, also only accessible in the new Game Plus. And basically there's a few ways in which you can get these types of flowers, but the most straightforward is by completing tales or activities that you already did before, and instead of getting the reward you already got before, now you will be given a ghost flower instead that you can go ahead and spend at this new dye merchant right here. But it's very likely that there's other means of collecting these ghost flowers in the game anyway, but again only available for that game mode. And according to Sucker Punch, all of these will feature some really elaborate designs that are not currently seen in the game, so I'm really curious what we will get on top of the hints that we already saw in the trailers. Bringing up to number 3, another important feature is going to be all about the loadouts, and since we were talking about changing stuff on your character, this is the next big thing right here, because this is an option that you can enable into your options menu to basically enable the armor loadouts, which allows you to assign different charms and vanity items to each of the armor sets that you have unlocked. As you can see right here, we have various armor sets, and beneath them there are the charms that were kinda slotted in, quote unquote, into these armor sets right here. But it's going to let you quickly swap between different playstyles, and there are already many of them in the game. Totally check my build guides over here on YouTube. I've covered most of the playstyles, if not even more than that. You can go and choose between a samurai playstyle, a ninja playstyle, a full archery build that I also made, and it's absolutely amazing. And there's also an immortal tank among many other things. So again, this is going to be the best update for me. Now, speaking of loadouts and all that kind of stuff, this is going to be even crazier with the new update, because Sucker Punch has also added some brand new, really interesting and very powerful charms, even more powerful than some of the ones that we already have in the game. By far the most OP in my perspective has to be this Heavenly Rebuke charm right here, a major one by the way. It makes your Heavenly Strike attack to have a chance to also cause a lightning strike to a nearby enemy, and you already know that I will be dropping a guide for a build centered around this very item right here, and I'm gonna definitely buff the chance for this to happen right here, so make sure you stick around for that. We also have a Charm of Incineration, also a major one that makes your way of the flame attack to deal more damage and also spread fire to nearby enemies, as if it wasn't already OP enough. There's also a couple more that we saw or were hinted. One of them is the Charm of Ghostly Fury. It doesn't currently exist in the game, and it's likely a charm aimed to that ghost playstyle, so I'm really curious what this will do. And finally, we have a Charm of Canine Recruitment, among possibly a few more on top. Which brings us to the 5th point on the list of amazing new features, and that's gonna be all about the possibility of finally petting dogs. So yes, in the new update we finally have the possibility of petting more than just the foxes. So there's a few ways in which we're gonna be able to do this. I've talked about that Charm of the Canine Recruitment. Basically, if you equip this charm, you can go at any of the enemy camps. If you see a wolf or a pet over there, like a dog and whatnot, you can immediately go ahead, interact with it by petting it, and it is going to become your ally. Then you can use it in combat and take down the other enemies. And you already know, if you play the game, how amazing the dogs can be in combat, since they tend to fully disable the target for at least a few seconds, since it tends to bite them by the hand. So really amazing companions, and this also extends to that Legends mode. If you didn't know about this, the Ronin class has access to a bunch of spirit wolves, and yes, if you summon them, you also have the option to interact with them and pet them as they are your own pets. So really cool little feature. But let's move over to number 6 and talk about a really interesting hint in one of the recent trailers, and what's probably going to be a power in itself, which is the power to imbue our own swords. So in the Legend mode, it seems that the classes appear to have the power to imbue their swords with special types of status effects. Like we see the Samurai over here, the Samurai class with a fire on his sword. We see the Hunter class with something that appears to look like electricity applied to its sword, and finally the Assassin with a green outline, which is probably something like a toxic or a poison applied to the weapon. So it might just be that we're getting these alongside the other abilities that have already been confirmed. So it seems that we're getting a full-blown RPG out of the Legends mode, which honestly gets me super hyped. And moving on to number 7, since we're still on the subject of the Legends mode, photo mode will also work over there, but you can only take screenshots of your squad if they also opt in your photo mode. And you will definitely want to do this, since they have added a ton of new options to make it even cooler than it was already, and it is already one of the best photo modes in, well, all of the PS4 release games so far. Finally, we have new trophies, and you are going to be able to earn specific trophies both for the single player game plus as well as for that Legends mode. All of these will have separate sections that will not count towards your platinum, so it's not going to interfere with you getting the platinum trophy if you are some kind of achievement hunter. But so far the update looks amazing. I cannot wait to play it. Again, I might or might not play in advance. I'm not saying anything so far because I can't really say it, but it looks really freaking cool, and I cannot wait to cover it here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching though. If you enjoyed this video at any point, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.